The year was 2011, and life was pretty good for me. I couldn't complain about much. I had a decent paying job, a great place to live, a nice vehicle to drive, and a good circle of friends. What was there to complain about? I would come home from work, look around at my place and the things that I've acquired, and literally ask, what's there to complain about? You know, that's the thing about life. Just when you thought you had it all figured out, it changes up on you. I've been working at my job for the last few years, and I was getting used to the routine. I came into work on a normal Friday morning, and I noticed that something was different. Just a little off. I can't explain it exactly, but it was something eerie. It's like when people talk about bad energy, it just seemed off. Maybe it was too quiet in there. Maybe it was lasagna I had the night before. I couldn't be sure as to what it was, but it was definitely something. And it's something I noticed right away. As I walked in, it appeared that my coworkers were all reluctant to look up from their computers or work phones. Now that wasn't the norm. Normally when I walk in, my coworkers are jovial. You can walk in without hearing an enthusiastic good morning or hello, but not on this morning. I made it to my desk as I usually do, put my car keys and phone down, and I logged into my computer. That's when I saw it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. One of the managers was busy taking items off a coworker's desk and placing them into a plain brown, medium-sized cardboard box. It was happening again. This scene was all too familiar to me. It happened at the same company 2 years prior. The way I remember it 2 years ago, well, it's not so much that I remember it, it's that I can't forget it. It's one of those experiences that you're completely unprepared for. One that gets burned into your consciousness. A member of Human Resources would call an employee on their desk phone and ask them to come to HR. Now, when I first saw this, of course I'm thinking, no big deal. It's perfectly normal for a Human Resources department to call an employee to come in first thing in the morning, right? That's when I began to justify what I was seeing. Well, maybe there was a problem with their address or tax paperwork. That's what I was thinking when it first went down 2 years ago. But that sort of optimism, well, that was quickly replaced with a cold, hard dose of realism. While the unfortunate employee was heading towards the HR department, their immediate manager, or one of the managers, would stealthily and with precision come behind them and place all of their items in a plain brown, medium-sized cardboard box. It was so coordinated, so precise. It was done with military-like precision. After seeing this for the first time, my immediate reaction was, now you don't see that every day. At this point, I'm still in the justification phase, oblivious to what's happening. Then, a few minutes later, another phone call at another desk, and somebody else gets up, walks out the door, and like clockwork, their belongings are scooped up, and into a box they go. Now at that point, no matter how hard I tried to keep it out, realism crept in. This was happening. Layoffs. I survived the layoffs of 2 years ago. But this particular Friday, somehow this felt different. It was as if that eerie feeling that I experienced when I walked in was some sort of harbinger. Maybe that's a little dramatic, harbingers, bad energy, eerie feelings, I get it. But at the time it was happening 2 years ago, you see a person get a call, they'd get up, walk out, management would come behind them with a plain brown medium-sized cardboard box, and you never see them again. Just like that, they were gone. The episode of 2 years ago lasted until about lunchtime or 12 noonish. That's a solid 4 hours of complete anxiety. Needless to say, that was a stress-filled day. What made it so stressful was the randomness. It lacked the structure. Normally, if you see a person lose their job, you can usually see it coming. You know, the person that's always late or lives to rock the boat, it's not a surprise. But when one of my coworkers, Sue, when Sue got the call, the same Sue that would bake sweets for the group, organize holiday-themed parties, the Sue who was always on time, the Sue who never rocked the boat, the Sue that always had a kind word to say to anyone along with a friendly demeanor. When Sue got the call, that's when it became real. Because if she wasn't safe, nobody was.